Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio.
So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Time!
Three on the way. Oh! It went in! It went in! And Indiana wins the ball game!
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni!
Float game for the win! Ayla's gone. Goodbye. Touchdown, Indy. Woo! IU. America. They got a football team now.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Now, here's Jim Coyle.
Hope your day is starting off well. How are you doing? Glad to have you. Appreciate you being with us on this Wednesday as you've made it midway through the week. Jim Coyle with you. Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming at you as well. Looking forward to another fun day. Dylan Sinn will join us. Neddenriep and Kevin Brockway will stop by as we'll talk some football, college football playoff, SEC, and basketball. As last year it was the Big Ten or the SEC that made its bones. Had a great season, ended up with 14 teams making it into the NCAA tournament at the end of the season, and justifiably so. This year, man, the Big Ten making its presence known already. Last night, Michigan State, with a curb stomping of Kentucky, had them down 17 at the half, and that's exactly what they beat them by, as they would tie them in the second half. As I shouldn't say tie them. They were up 17 points at the half. And so that's pretty daggone good. But what happens generally, most teams, it's hard to sustain that. And you're going to give a little of that back. No, they gave nothing back. They had a 17-point lead they built in the first half, and in the second half, 39 points to 39 points. They give nothing. That, man, he's done it again. Why are we surprised? I'm not surprised, but Tom Izzo usually doesn't have his teams ready this early. They usually don't look great this early. And I'm not saying that they're great, but good win. Madison Square Garden in New York City, Kentucky, national TV audience. Big win. Big win for the Big Ten as well, as Illinois is looking good. Big Ten is, Big Ten's going to be tough at the top, people. It's going to be tough at the top. Man, Michigan, they're loaded. They've got to get things together. They're not playing. I said this yesterday. They're not playing as a team well just yet. They're not playing together as well as Indiana is. I'll tell you that. If Indiana had a little of their size, and then Iowa. How about Iowa? It just they scored 90. What I think? Let me get the scores pulled up here, and I think Iowa scored 90 points last night. In the top 25, Duke, in the nightcap of that champion or State Farm Champions Classic there in New York at Madison Square Garden, Duke handled Kansas 78-66. That game earlier, number 17, Michigan, 83-66 over Kentucky. Number 12, Kentucky. Kentucky now 3-2, but their two losses are to ranked teams, to Michigan State and to Louisville. So it's not going to hurt them a lick. That's going to be great on their resume. Now, And it's going to make it tougher by the time Indiana gets. It's time for Indiana to go down to Lexington there in mid-December. They'll be battle tested. Does it give Indiana fans hope? Yeah, there's always hope, I guess. But that's going to be a tough ask in Rupp Arena, people. North Carolina, number 18, they get past Navy 73-61. It was 19th ranked UCLA 79-48 over Sacramento State, and Arkansas, number 21, squeaks by Winthrop 84-83. But Big Ten, deep at the top, man. UCLA, Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, Illinois. Iowa looks to be pretty good. Haven't talked about them much, to be honest with you. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. There's no question about it in the Big Ten. But we didn't have an idea. I was being honest with you, and so now we're getting to see some of these games and see what some of these teams are like. Some of them are better than I thought they'd be this soon, especially. Let's see. Overall in Division I last night, some other scores. Rutgers got the win over American University 80-71. Looking down for anybody else of matter. No, James Madison. They went 81-75. I if it wasn't for Google, I'd ask you a trivia question, but everybody's going to Google it. You know, James Madison University. Obviously, it's named after James Madison. Where did James Madison go to school? How about that? Yeah, you're going to look it up, though. You're going to cheat. There's no way. But there's a little funny question for you there. A little funny to start, not to add to your day here. No matter where you are driving, hope you're not stuck in traffic. Make sure you lock your radio dial right now, wherever you have it, because you've got it on the right spot. As you travel throughout the day, we appreciate all of our great radio station affiliates. 97.7 ESPN The Rep, always the right call in Evansville. 12:30 a.m., 104.7 FM, 104.7 FM, WJOB, the voice of the region of Hammond, Chicago. And Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan. Like I said, lock her in. You got it in the right spot. If you're following on social media, do me a favor. Just hit the like button. It's what, bam, you could have done it right now. See, you can do it right there. There it is. Thank you. There, yes. Make sure you got it. There you go. Thank you. And the subscribe button. Why not? Don't miss out. Don't miss out, baby. Got plenty of action coming as we're in crossover season, and it's about to get hot and heavy. The new college football playoff poll out, of course. We'll talk about that. Not a lot of not a lot of movement at the top, but the fun part, it's getting tighter in that area where I've talked about Texas Tech. I'm telling you, Texas Tech. They're angling for that 4th slot, man, which I don't have a problem with. They might. They probably deserve it, to be honest with you. But they've got to win the Big 12. They win the Big 12, they're going to get that fourth slot. They win the Big 12, they're going to get that fourth slot over the SEC loser. Third's going to go to the Big 10. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio. On the other side of these messages, thanks for being with us. Appreciate you. Andy Moore Honda is Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer for a reason. Buy a new Honda and get a 3-month break from car payments. That's right, no payments for 90 days. That includes the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue. And you get it for just 0.9% financing. Andy Moore Honda is Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer for a reason. Buy a new Honda and get a 3-month break from car payments. That's right, no payments for 90 days. That includes the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue. And you get it for just 0.9% financing. Or the 2024 Honda Ridgeline Black Edition or the Honda Accord LX, both for just 1.9% financing. Get more to your door from AndyMooreHonda.com, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer and your best place for new and used vehicles. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemooreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today.
Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. With 8 Academy stores across Indiana, including our Bloomington location, fun can't lose, and neither can you. Gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Zach Browning here to tell you about an offer you simply can't pass up. If you're looking for the best coverage of Indiana football and basketball, which includes recruiting, weekly chats, podcasts, as well as access to the best national team out there, then look no further than thehoosier.com. The best part, it's just $1 for the first week. Oh, and did I mention that you get a full year of access to The Athletic when you sign up? You can't beat the coverage, and you can't beat the deal. So head over to thehoosier.com today and sign up for just $1. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Wednesday. Glad to have you along for the ride. You made it to the halfway point of the week. Dylan Sinn from the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette stopping by to say hello as usual. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me on, as always, Jim.
Always a pleasure. Man, busy time right now as the crossover season. I've talked about that, but not only that, a plethora of great early college basketball games. It's just been a delicious morsel, man. Some of these games last night, the Champions Classic. Of course, you got Duke, Kansas, which is kind of a yearly thing, and then Michigan State playing Kentucky, which that would have been Indiana had. This goes back to the old what was this stupid Crossroads Classic?
Crossroads Classic, yeah.
They wanted Indiana for the Champions Classic, but Indiana was like, no, we're committed to this Crossroads Classic. Oh yeah, that was could have been in and they wanted Indiana even when Indiana wasn't Indiana.
Yeah.
Because people, I'm telling you, for the 80th time, once you are a blue blood, you are a blue blood. And Indiana still was, and probably will always be Indiana. Yes, you can't always be now anymore, but I like the chances of getting back there. Either way, the Big Ten making a big doings about the Big Ten, Dylan. I mean, they're looking pretty good. Michigan State, huge emphatic win over Kentucky last night. Let's see. Purdue goes down to Alabama, goes down to Georgia, makes a deal with the devil, goes down to Georgia. Well, no, not really. They went to Alabama, made a deal with the devil, but no kidding. They make a statement win there. I mean, Illinois, hello. Michigan, I've talked about Michigan. They're not playing as a team yet. They've got a lot of those new parts, but everybody does, and it's not that much of an excuse. But I can tell they're not playing as a team just yet, but they've got some great pieces. So it's another team. UCLA ranked 19th. It's just, buddy, there's a lot of stuff out there, bro.
Yeah, it's the Big Ten. Raphael Davis, the Big Ten network analyst who used to play for Purdue, he just tweeted out last night. He was like, "The Big Ten's the best conference in the country." Like, it is, and I don't think that that's really debatable right now, considering how well the conference has played in some of these crossover games so far. I mean, Michigan State beating Kentucky, Purdue beating Alabama on the road last week. That was a huge win for Purdue. You get Trey Kaufman running back, and suddenly they look exactly like people thought they were going to look at the start of the season. So really good stuff. Like you said, Michigan, I think, will come together. They have, obviously, as we saw against in their first game against Oakland, they have one of the highest ceilings in the country. Did you see what Mick Cronin at UCLA did last night? Did anyone see what Mick Cronin did last night?
He came out in clown face at halftime.
No, he started a bunch of bench. He basically benched his entire starting lineup because he thought they weren't playing hard enough. So he started an entirely different lineup.
I knew all of them weren't out there, but I did not realize that the entire starting lineup he benched. I'll be darned. Hey, Mick Cronin's old school, baby. I love it. He's one of the few old school that's left. He's he's height challenged like Tom Izzo. He kind of reminds you of Tom Izzo. He's a little spitfire.
Yeah, and he was vocally not happy with his team the first couple. They were winning, but he wasn't happy with the way his team was playing the first couple of games. He decided to send a message right away, and they dominated that game last night. So it seems like the message was received. They might be starting to get closer to being where they should be, and it's going to be a very, very fun year in the conference, I think, because there are teams this season in the Big Ten, teams plural, that have a chance to make it all the way to Indianapolis at the end of the season, and it's pretty exciting to follow, I think.
Absolutely, and we'll talk. We can keep talking basketball, I guess, and then we'll get to football because a lot to talk about there with the bracket out. But Indiana up tomorrow night again. Their start to the season, pretty good. Their first 3 games, they played very well. They shot the hell out of the ball. I'll tell you that. I don't know if you want to say they came back down to earth in their last game or if that was an anomaly because they did not shoot the ball very well in the last game. I think 5 of 24. From behind the 3-point line, and Lamar Wilkerson never really got going. Tucker DeVries never really got going, but they did things they normally don't do. They substantially out-rebounded the team that they beat, yet they allowed them to get back in. So it's rim protection and is going to be a worry this year for this team without question. But sometimes, man, I think that they're going to be challenged to defend the 3-point shot.
Yeah, a little bit. And it's one of those things where, like, you have to wonder how much of it was just a little bit of a lapse because they weren't making shots, right? This is something that happens a lot for teams that take and make a lot of threes. When the shots aren't going in, it affects a lot of other things going on, right? Teams get out in transition, they get easy looks, it starts to spiral, you start to kind of get in your head about it. And I think that's what happened for Indiana in that second half against Incarnate Word on Sunday. It just kind of started to get out of control for them a little bit. And it helped that they had built like a 17, 18-point lead before things started to really go bad. That first half, I thought they played really well defensively. They only gave up 19 points in the first half. And then the second half, it just started to spiral on them a little bit. And what we know about teams that shoot the ball really well is they're not going to shoot the ball well every night. It's just not how it works, right? So you're going to have these games probably once every 4, 5, 6 games at least where you're just not going to shoot it well. And sometimes it's going to look really, really ugly. And that's kind of that is the drawback of having a team based so much around shooting. Usually it's going to look great, right? Like that's what we saw the first 3 games was how well it can look when those shots are going down. But other times it's just not going to look as pretty, right? And so you're going to have to find a way. Matt Painter talks about it all the time because he recruits so many shooters and they shoot the ball so well almost every year. He talks about it all the time. How do you look when the shots aren't falling? That is the key to any basketball team, especially one based around shooting. And so Indiana didn't look great, but I thought they did okay at a lot of that game at figuring out, okay, the shots aren't falling. How do we play defense? How do we keep moving the ball? And they did still have 18 assists on 23 made field goals, so it wasn't a total wash. So I think there's positives to take away from it, even if it didn't look nearly as pretty as the first couple games.
Yeah, and like I've always said the same thing. That's not going to happen every night, man. You're just going to have games where not one but both of them. And I don't think Tucker DeVries was necessarily off. It just the opportunities weren't necessarily there as they had been, and he just didn't have the number of shots. But they had been shooting so well that at free throw shooting, they had been like way over the line, 88%, 90%, close to that. Come down to life a little bit, 69%. You've got more guys playing now. They've got guys back. Josiah Miles is back into the rotation. Let's see. Nick Dorn back into the rotation. So you've got more guys that are going to the free throw line right now. But actually it was Lamar Wilkerson, I think it was Tucker DeVries who was actually 3 of 6.
Yeah, he missed 2 right at the end when they had a chance.
Yeah. On the same trip. Right. And so
it's just one of those things. It's one of those things where sometimes when the shots aren't falling, it can spiral on you and you can start to get in your head a little bit. And that's kind of what happened. And credit to them for when they needed a bucket, going to get a bucket and or I guess when they needed to stop, because that was going to be if they give up a basket with about a minute left. It was going to be a 1-possession game with 45 seconds left. And so Connor Enright goes out there and gets the stop. And that credit to them, that's what they needed in that moment. The question is the mental toughness when you have a night like that. And obviously the opponent wasn't great. You're going to have much more challenging nights where the opponent is very, very good and you're not shooting very well. You have to figure out some way to keep up. But credit to them for when things look really, really bleak, going out there and getting a defensive stop, right? That was the key to the drill there, and they got it done.
Yeah, it's that's akin back to Puerto Rico. I remember being in Puerto Rico on their second game against Serbia bet, whatever, super bet, whatever, max bet, all bet, all in, whatever their name was. Just kidding. That game came down to a last second shot that they got to fall and a defensive stop by Lamar Wilkerson. So yeah, they it's like they just were, I don't want to say sleepwalking. They weren't jacked up for that game. I generally kind of don't excuse teams for not being up for a game. I don't know how to, when you've got this many games kind of right now in a row, packed in a row, and they're not against teams that exactly light a fire under you. But what you have to realize, or not you, but these guys, for every team they're playing, this is probably, one of the highlights of their season. They're playing at Assembly Hall. They're playing against a Big Ten team. They're playing against a storied team. They're playing against a team that is right outside of the rankings right now. And who knows where they're going to wind up playing in this the best conference in the country. So it's an opportunity. You're going to be on TV, you know that, And so, yeah, they're all every night. Those guys are going to come in like that. And so when you take the night off and not intentionally, it like you could just tell they weren't as crisp. The offense wasn't moving like it had been. And, again, I can't speak to that. I have played football, other sports, but as far as to compare to this, I don't have a basketball comparison. And so for football, I don't understand. I'll never understand people not being up for a football game. That's unacceptable. But basketball during the week, I guess. I don't want to excuse it, Dylan, but I mean, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, it was I guess part of it, and part of it is you need to bring your own energy, but also part of it was that was a sleepy crowd, right? There was not that many people there. The atmosphere was not great, and so it's one of those things where sometimes you see, and this is not an excuse, this is just an explanation. Is sometimes you see, well, the fans aren't really into it. Why should we be, right? And that can't be that can't be your mindset. You have to bring your own energy, and I think that they need to do a better job of that. And we'll see tomorrow night when they play a team that is sub 300 in KenPom on a Thursday night. The crowd probably isn't going to be that big there either. All right, let's be a little bit more intense about this, right? Let's come out and take it to them right away. And now I will say the one guy that did have a lot of energy throughout the game and who I thought saved it for him was Sam Alexis. Sam Alexis was fantastic in that game. He had the best game he's had as a Hoosier. Just dominated on the glass, dunking all over the place, off the bench. Like, he came in, it was like, all right, I am this team's wake-up call. It seemed like he had that mindset. And, I mean, they're down, they're down 3 or 4 when he comes in the game, and within a couple of minutes, he's dunked the ball 3 times, and suddenly they're winning, right? It is one of those things where sometimes you just need a little bit of a spark. And Sam Alexis provided that spark just with his energy and effort, moving without the ball, getting rebounds, protecting the rim. He's a guy who, boy, he is a very valuable player for this team. He is a guy that has, like, when you get a guy from a national championship team and it's like, well, they have championship pedigree. Okay, great. But he played like 7 or 8 minutes a game, right? How much does that really translate? For him, it seems like it did. He seems like he knows, all right, this is how championship teams operate. I'm going to operate in that way. And he really saved their bacon against Incarnate Word. And I mean, Tucker DeVries said it after the game. If he's not there, we don't win that game. And he was terrific. So shout out to Sam Alexis. And what you need is, as a team who's experiencing that kind of night where you don't have energy, the shots aren't falling, you need someone, just one guy, to give you that energy to come in and say, I'm going to be the wake-up call. I'm going to get us going. And credit to Sam Alexis. He did exactly that.
And you got to give a shout out to Trent Sisley as well.
Yes,
he was right there with him. That was kind of like Batman and Robin off the bench. Seriously, I mean, Trent comes in. I think he had double-digit rebounds. He was in, I believe, double-digit scores. I don't have the stats pulled up in front of me right now, but I know he came in and both of those guys gave. Boy, I think they both had double digits in scoring. So they were 2 of the 3 guys that were in double digits. So, big impact.
Yeah.
Big impact off the bench, which is great. And as they get guys back like Josiah Miles and Nick Dorn adds to that. But they've got to they got to stay out of foul trouble. This is a team that has to make up for its deficiencies, which you would think you could say that about every team, but most team doesn't have these kinds of deficiencies, and that being rim protection and rebounding normally. That wasn't a problem here, partly because I think they missed so damn many shots, Dylan, that they have so many because they had a lot of offensive rebounds.
Yep, long shots with long rebounds, right? Like
exactly, and that's no joke, man. And so, yeah, they've got to stay focused. This team has to stay focused all the time, And if it's not, those are the nights that you're going to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is going to be. I mean, that's what Darren DeVries said when he came in. Was when he took the job, was he wants this team. He wants to hang its hat on playing really, really hard all the time, right? Like that is what he wants for this team. And they did that for most of the first 3 games, especially those first couple. They played incredibly hard, and it was really impressive to see. And then you don't see it against Incarnate Word, and you see how fast things can really turn on you. And so maybe it's a nice wake-up call for the team as a whole to say this is the way we need to play, because if we don't, we're going to get embarrassed by someone who's not as good as us, right? And credit to them again for finding a way to win. I do think just the way they're built, that the way they're built with all these shooters, all this skill, it's kind of a team you're going to lose some games you probably shouldn't, and you're going to win some games you probably shouldn't overall, right? Maybe it's going to bounce out at the end of the season. You're going to end up probably where you would have been, but there are going to be some games this year that they're going to lose that they probably shouldn't lose because they're more talented and they just didn't get it done because that's just the way they're built. And they're also going to win some games that they probably shouldn't because they're going to make 15 threes. The other team is just going to get blitzed at them, right? And so we'll see how that goes. This could have been a game where they let it get away and they didn't. So credit to them on that.
Yeah. The big boy Simovic, he was not. The plan was never for him to play this season. So yeah, he will be redshirted or whatever the hell you want to call it now. I don't even know what they
redshirted probably is still it's still the term for now. We'll see if that changes. It's still the term for now.
Yeah. And I saw that Louisville officially announced the signing of London Bridges falling down, the kid from Ignite.
From the G League Ignite. Yeah, professional.
Yeah, but what cracked me up is the report says with what seemingly will be 2 years of eligibility. Doesn't even know. I'm like going, Jesus, he was in the class of 2022. My God, how long can you go?
It is one of those things we still have no idea. We have no idea, but I guess we'll find out going forward. I guess everyone has to start combing through G League Ignite.
So he hasn't been playing with Louisville?
I don't believe so, no.
Oh, wow. So Louisville's only going to get better. Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go.
Well, we'll see. They've in Indianapolis on December 6th. Don't be there, be square.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Hey, Dylan Sinn from the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette with me. We got more coming up. We'll talk football on the other side. The CFP poll, latest poll out. Little change, not at the very top, but Texas Tech. I keep saying Texas Tech, Dylan. Texas Tech. They're going to creep in. They want that 4th spot, man. They want to take that 4th spot away from the SEC, and we'll talk about that and a lot more. More Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming right after these messages.
Know a team or group needing a fundraiser? Boost Fundraising raises more money faster and offers the most unique and user-friendly online fundraiser in the nation. Your team receives personalized fundraising pages for each team member. Free team-branded promo gifts shipped to each donor. Boost Fundraising does it all. Sports teams, marching bands, charity causes, and community groups. Go to boostfundraising.com and be sure to enter the promo code COYLE, that's COYLE, to receive a discounted fundraiser. Whether it's a night out with the family, after work with colleagues, or catching the game with friends, Bubba's 33 is the place for you. Bubba's 33 offers a mouthwatering menu of selections that are all made from scratch every day. The portions are big, but the prices are small. And with over 50 big screen TVs, you'll never miss the big game. Bubba's 33, pizza, burgers, beer.
Zach Browning here to tell you about an offer you simply can't pass up. If you're looking for the best coverage of Indiana football and basketball, which includes recruiting, weekly chats, podcasts, as well as access to the best national team out there, then look no further than thehoosier.com. The best part, it's just $1 for the first week. Oh, and did I mention that you get a full year of access to The Athletic when you sign up? You can't beat the coverage and you can't beat the deal. So head over to thehoosier.com today and sign up for just $1. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. With 8 Academy stores across Indiana, including our Bloomington location, fun can't lose, and neither can you. Gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Wednesday. Glad to have you along, no matter where or how you're listening. Jim Coyle, Dylan Sinn with me from the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette. Lots of movement in football. The CFP poll came out last night. We'll talk about that. James Franklin has a job. Mike Loxley is getting to keep his job.
Yep.
Lane Kiffin has been given an ultimatum about his future job.
He says he hasn't. He denies that.
Oh, okay. He denies that.
He denies. He went on McAfee yesterday and said that's not true. I don't know where that reporting came from. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
I bet. And if he says that, then I believe it. Not that he hasn't said things that weren't true in the past, and not that coaches don't say things that aren't true. And I get it. I mean, there are certain times you're asked a question that, man. All right. So what do you do when let's say you're a coach and you're in a position and you're asked a question that you cannot give the real answer to?
Yeah.
That you just can't. And so now you're forced, I hate to use the word lie, but you're forced to lie in essence.
To
You're
bend the truth.
To give an inaccurate information. Or information that you know to not be true. I don't know how you would word it, but yeah. I mean, hey, if you're Ole Miss, this is a situation Indiana could have easily been in, very easily. And you want to credit, if you're an Indiana fan and you should be happy you're not in the situation that Ole Miss is in right now, with a team barreling toward the CFP on the top end, no less.
Yeah.
Looking potentially at a bye. You don't know. They're right there. They're sitting fifth, I think.
Sixth.
And they don't know if their coach is going to be there.
Yeah.
So that sounds like an Indiana problem. It does. But Indiana said, no, we're not going to deal with that, man. We're going to get this situation locked down. Yesterday, someone asked the two coordinators, Mike Shanahan, Bryant Haynes, obviously both superstars, but both have been with Kurt Signetti for a decade or more. That tells me, I don't know, not that they don't want to be a head coach, but man, they have really stuck it out for one thing. For a second, my second point would be is they're at the Mecca right now. They've gone from all these of toiling at the low levels, Elon, Indiana, Pennsylvania. James Madison was legit, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're in the Big Ten now. They're playing these. You going to walk away from that to go coach Bowling Green?
Yeah.
To make $1 million more.
I mean, probably less, frankly, right? They're
both going to get raises. They're both getting raises.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Brian Haynes is among the top 10 paid coordinators in the country. Brian Haynes is making like $2 million a year, $2.1 million this season.
That's going to go up. I will guarantee you, they may make him the highest paid coordinator in the country when it's all said and done. I don't know how you don't.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. And like a MAC head coaching job, you make like a high level $700,000, right? And so you're not,
and you're back to struggling. And I get it. People say, I'm like, yeah, sometimes
yeah, it's gonna have to be the right job for these guys, right? Like they might leave for head coaching jobs, absolutely they could, but it's gonna have to be the right job. And we'll have to see. I haven't seen their name mentioned for a lot of these jobs. Maybe it'll be mentioned for the next tier of jobs, right? Like if someone gets poached and they go to if UCLA hires Sean Lewis from San Diego State, who's having a great year, If they hire Sean Lewis, then maybe Bryant Haynes or Mike Shanahan gets in on the San Diego State.
Yeah,
right.
I agree. I
it's going to have to
be good.
Be the right job. It's not going to get any job. He would have taken the ball. Yeah, if he were just going to jump at any job, he would have taken the Ball State job last offseason. Like he almost certainly could have done that if he wanted to. He's an alumnus. They needed a coach. He was coming off a season as a Broyles finalist, right?
Yeah.
He could.
Dylan having a little issue with his audio. We'll get him back in there and reconnected. But yeah, all kinds of things going on the coaching side. Like I mentioned, James Franklin lands now at Virginia Tech, a good landing spot for him, I think. And that Penn State $54 million buyout that was hanging over their neck. Well, Pat Kraft, pretty crafty. He negotiated that down to $9 million. So they get away with they get away pretty much unscathed. Mike Locksley keeping his job at Maryland as the Terps don't want to get into that situation, and I understand that completely. Dylan, I was talking about the fact that James Franklin lands at Virginia Tech. I think that's a great landing spot for him. A lot less pressure. It's just like it's a restart. You get to start from scratch. Mike Locksley, Maryland is like, okay, we don't want to get into this coaching carousel thing. There's too damn many openings. I don't know where these guys are going to come from to begin with. So, and they currently have, ironically, I don't know how they managed this, the number 2 player in the country right now in edge rushers, Zion Ely, rather, my bad. So, all right, and something else I wanted to talk about. Everybody wanted to bang on Indiana for their non-conference schedule. Okay, next year, North Texas is one of their 3, is their first game of the season. They're currently ranked right now.
Yes. They might make the playoff this year. They might be the G5 team that gets to the playoff.
Exactly. All right, and then this season, remember Old Dominion and Kennesaw State? Yeah, well, Old Dominion, they're not exactly killing it, but they're going to a bowl game. Kennesaw State has been rolling. So they're doing quite well also. Indiana's not scheduled. I guarantee you, both of those teams are – Old Dominion lost to – their only other loss was to Wake Forest by 1 at Wake Forest.
Yeah.
So the P4 thing is kind of a load of crap. What if you're playing a top level P4 team? Okay, I get it. But if you're just playing some old, no offense right now, but Purdue or a low level team, well, who cares? Just because they're in a P4 conference, big whoop.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like if Indiana had scheduled Virginia Tech, right? Indiana would have gotten significantly more credit for scheduling Virginia Tech than they did for scheduling Old Dominion, except for the fact that Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech by 3 touchdowns this year.
Yes.
Right? It's the branding on the helmet, right? Indiana's schedule this season ended up being very much like middle of the pack for a power conference team. It wasn't the worst schedule in the power conferences or whatever people were saying about it. So we'll see. It's one of those things where sometimes the narrative just takes hold and there's nothing you can do about it, but that's just kind of the way it works. So we'll have to see how that shakes out next season, if there's any kind of reassessment of what people said, especially if they play North Texas, who's coming off, well, again, could be a playoff berth. I think they're pretty close to being in the driver's seat right now. It's probably them or Tulane that's going to be in that spot. Maybe Navy or James Madison. We'll see, but probably North Texas is the favorite right now, I would say.
Here's a question that you don't have the answer to, but what's your opinion on? The Big Ten is now going to have to go to requiring teams to play a P4 team.
Yeah.
Just because every other conference now has that requirement. Save for the ACC, I think. Did they go to?
I think they did. Yeah.
But they didn't go to 10 yet, have they?
No, they haven't. No, they went.
I mean 9. Nine rather.
Yeah.
I don't think the ACC has gone to 9 yet, have they? I know the SEC did.
I think the ACC did as well. Yes.
Okay. Well, anyway, the SEC did, and since they did, they already had that P4 requirement in lieu of the 9th conference game. But now that they've added the 9th conference game, that requirement stays. So they have both of those. Now the Big Ten is going to have to, match that.
Yes.
And so that's going to have to change. And so that means changing schedules again, which we've seen is not quite as difficult as it was made out to be all of these years. Oh my God, no, these schedules were made in 1925. We can't change those. But there's going to be change. Now, Indiana has Notre Dame coming in the next century. In the next century, playing them in 2029. So, but 2028, 2027, I don't know. The Big Ten has not even acted like they're going to do anything yet. So I don't see that happening right now. Do you?
Yeah, we'll see. It's one of those things. So Indiana could theoretically, their schedules are set for the next couple of years, but they could, if they wanted to, dump those FCS games and replace them with a power conference team if that's where the Big Ten goes. Yeah,
I mean, there were several schedule changes in the SEC, but they didn't have to make as many because they already had the requirement.
Right, exactly. And so we'll see how that goes. I think the Big Ten might be kind of using that as a bargaining chip, where they're still negotiating with the SEC for what the next playoff system is going to look like, and they haven't been able to come to a resolution on that. Whether it's going to be 16 teams or they're going to stay. Everyone wants it to be 16, but they differ on whether it's going to be automatic qualifiers or not. And the Big Ten really wants automatic qualifiers, and the SEC doesn't, because the SEC wants to get 6 teams in every year. And so I think the Big Ten might be kind of using that as a little bit of a bargaining chip. Hey, if you accede to XYZ of our position, we will put a rule in place that we have to play at least one conference opponent, not a high conference opponent every year, right? So they might be kind of using that as a bargaining chip. But the problem is you're getting to the point now where if you want to set your schedule for next season, you're getting toward crunch time for that. And obviously, as you said, schedules can change relatively quickly, but we're going to need to know within the next month or so here, because you need to set your schedule for next year. You can't just be going into the offseason saying we don't know who we're playing. So it is one of those things where there needs to be a resolution to this, because I mean, we saw there was a report yesterday. The Big Ten presented some plan for a 24 team playoff to the other conferences. Enough, right? Just figure out if you want to get to 16, get to 16, fine, but figure it out already.
To be honest with you,
I think it's
I've seen 12 is enough, because by being forced to allow the G5 team in, that's like, it's nice. It's like you're having a kids table. And I don't mean to be offensive, but I'm sorry. A G5 team is not going to compete with the top level anymore. Never going to happen again. It's just not. It's just not going to happen. And so that is just it's a nice thing to do. Actually, you're taking up a spot that a better team deserves. If you want me to be honest, I'd rather see a better team in there. I'm sorry. What am I supposed to do? Feel sorry that that team has a chance to win the national championship anymore if they're not in the tournament? They never were. They never had a chance. Look at who's won it. They did not have a chance. So let's get real and keep it real, man. We know where the good teams are going to come from. Just do it. Stop that. Let them have their own.
On the other hand, I mean, that's kind of what's made the NCAA tournament great for so many years, right? Is you have these teams that can come in and win a game or two. Like there's never been a Cinderella that's won the national championship in college basketball, right? But there are teams that have gotten to the Sweet 16, and that's a lot of fun, right? Why can't we? Like, I mean,
there's one that's been close. Now basketball, I would disagree. UTEP. Texas Western.
Yeah, that was a little bit different, right?
How about Butler? How about Butler against Duke in 2010? I mean, that shot goes down, baby. Woo,
sure,
this is close.
Sure, fair enough. But you didn't happen. And you're probably not you're not going to get a G5 team going to the national championship game, probably. But you could get a G5 team winning a game. You absolutely could get them winning a game, and then suddenly you're in the Elite Eight and you're playing in the Rose Bowl. Right, like that is an outcome that is possible for a G5 team. Right, we've seen G5 teams win big bowl games against major brands. We saw it 3 years ago when Tulane went to the Cotton Bowl and beat the Heisman.
What does that do? I mean, wouldn't you rather have a team that has a chance to actually win that next game? That probably is going to bring more eyeballs to the game.
I mean, I guess I'm not worried. I'm not so worried about the TV ratings. That who cares? Honestly, that's for ESPN to worry about. That's not for us as fans to worry about. I hate to focus on TV ratings. That's not our job. We are not the ones who are making money off of it. So why should we care what the TV ratings are? But they can certainly win a game. And would you rather have that team in there, or would you rather have the 5th team from the SEC? I personally am good on seeing 9-3 Texas, because that's who it would be this year. Be 9-3 Texas. I'm good on that. Man. I don't need to see that over Tulane.
Boy, Dylan talking Texas. Appreciate you, brother, as always. Hope you have a good one coming down for the game tomorrow.
That's the plan.
Tonight, right? Tomorrow. Gosh. Appreciate you. Dylan Sinn, Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette. More Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after these messages.
If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. When it comes to apparel and promotions, Freethink has you covered, literally, whether it's 24 or 200 shirts for sports leagues, businesses, or groups. Freethink Apparel and Promotions can also create your very own merchandising store. Freethink Apparel and Promotions did it for Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and they can do it for you. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, promotional products, vehicle wraps, or anything else under the promotional line. See what Freethink Apparel and Promotions can do for you at freethinkapparel.com.
Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. With 8 Academy stores across Indiana, including our Bloomington location, fun can't lose, and neither can you. Gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Whether it's a night out with the family, after work with colleagues, or catching the game with friends, Bubba's 33 is the place for you. Bubba's 33 offers a mouthwatering menu of selections that are all made from scratch every day. The portions are big, but the prices are small. And with over 50 big screen TVs, you'll never miss the big game. Bubba's 33, pizza, burgers, beer.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Wednesday. Glad to have you along, and very happy to have our friend Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star, the high school guru of all sports. And right now it is rolling. We've got crossover seasons, but more importantly, the Indiana high school football playoffs rolling into the semi-state round. And first, I'll say, boy, my Highlanders, they didn't just take it on the chin. They took it on the chin, in the jaw, in the gut, uppercut. I mean, man, I got to tell you, I was shocked. 55-7, they lose at Bloomington South.
Yeah, sorry about that. Didn't go so well for the Highlanders on Friday night. That Bloomington South team's really good offensively. I thought it'd be kind of a high scoring game on both sides, but yeah, that's just unfortunate end to a really good season for Floyd Central. But now we get to see how Bloomington South stacks up against New Pal, which I think will be a tough challenge for them. New Pal's strength, it's kind of strength on strength. New Pal's defense is so good against that Bloomington South offense. It's really good. So we'll see how that goes. New Pal had another tough game. East Central gave them all they could handle on Friday. That ended up being a 20-6 game, but that was 6-6 late in the game, late in the third quarter. And basically, New Pal scored twice in the fourth quarter and kind of took over from there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Bloomington South can beat them, but they do have an offense that's really dynamic and 2,000-yard rushers. They have a really good coach. So we'll see. But yeah, I think New Pal definitely the team to beat in 5A.
Hey, go be South, man. I'm not a hater. Go sitting in Bloomington right now, so go be South, bro. Yeah, Brownsburg they'll be playing Maryville, so it could be a close in Indy area state championship if both of those teams can get through that. But Maryville looks like they had a tough one, kind of a fist fight with Michigan City, 34-14.
Yeah, Maryville is a team that they just have not been able to get through this round of the tournament, this semi-state round. So we'll see if they can do it. They were a team that was they were typically in the largest class for a long time, and now a 5A team playing Concord in the 5A game there in the north. So that could be an interesting game, I think, between those two. And Concord's a team, they lost to Warsaw last year. Warsaw ended up making the state finals. And again, I think that's going to be a really close, kind of a high-scoring game. Concord beat Lafayette Jeff last week. They scored late, got an onside kick, and then kicked a 48-yard field goal with no time left to win that game, 47-45. So pretty exciting stuff up there, and I think they would bring a lot of people to Lucas Oil if they win. Maryville's good too. I think that's going to be a fantastic matchup there in 5A.
4A, man, we've got the good ones still rolling. South Bend St. Joe squeezing out a low-scoring 10-7 win over the Brickies, 10-7 there. And then Fort Wayne Bishop Dwenger, 39-27 over Lebanon. So those teams will be getting together. Then how about the Fighting Trent Sisleys or the Fighting Santa Clauses? Heritage Hills, they keep rolling. They beat Martinsville 35-19. Stay alive, and so I assume they'll be taking on Ron Colley, who got by Yorktown 31-27, right?
That could be the game of the night. That's a great matchup, and I know people remember the name Jay Cutler. The last time these teams played, Jay Cutler was the quarterback at Heritage Hills, and they beat Roncalli 27-0 in the semi-state in 2000. So, kind of a fun historical matchup. That's the only time those teams have played, but that game was also at Roncalli. I think that's going to be, that atmosphere is going to, Roncalli's field, if people haven't been there, it's kind of back, kind of in the woods. It's a neat atmosphere. And Heritage Hills, I'm sure, is going to bring a ton of people there for that game. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's 8:00 start to let Heritage Hills travel up and be there for the game. And nothing. It's not going to be an empty seat in the house, I'm sure. But yeah, Roncalli, man, they the way they took out Chittard, very impressive, and then beat Yorktown last week in a close game. Heritage Hills had a little trouble with Martinsville last week. That was only a 2-point game at halftime, and then took them out in the second half. But also, you could say Mr. Football is a little bit on the line here. Jet Goldsberry, the Heritage Hills quarterback, I think, a very strong contender for that. But the way Miles McLaughlin has been playing from Knox, and breaking all these records, that'll be a tough race. I mean, I see those two maybe being the top for that. But Heritage Hills may need to win state, and keep going here to win it. But that's going to be a great game. I can't imagine.
Even if he did, do you think, there's any way that Knox is not, or the kid from Knox is not going to get that? I mean, man, he broke Derrick Henry's record, and he's not done yet. He's going to be adding to it.
Yeah, it would look weird if he doesn't, if he doesn't break, or if he does.
And then
break
how
it,
sad would it be for the Heritage Hills quarterback, who in any other year would probably win this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I thought Jet Goldsberry last year when they won state, I was like, well, that's the kid I think that's probably going to win it next year, and he's done nothing this year to like dissuade you away from it. He's had a great season, but McLaughlin's kind of come out of nowhere. He needs 364 on Friday to break the career record of Derrick Henry. But he's already got the single season record. He's got the single season touchdowns national records. He's got the state all-time record, so even if he doesn't break the national record, he's still got all these records. So yeah, it's, I think, I just don't know how the coaches are going to vote sometimes. That's the other thing too, is I think, Knox in that area of the state, he'll get a lot of support. You'll have a little bit of fracture. I do like that, how they do it now. Any coach can vote. It's not just a panel of, 10 coaches in each class. That kind of changed after the, few years ago. So now any coach can vote, even assistant coaches who are part of the IFCA, which I think is good. You get more votes that way and just a better sample size. But I don't know. I mean, I think McLaughlin's probably the favorite, but there's good players, including Goldsberry. So I don't know how that'll come down exactly. And I think a couple of these games left will help decide it also.
Tim's asking, he said, what's Kyle's thoughts on the 260 teams? I don't know what he means by that. If he means
Fort Wayne teams.
There's that the 260.
Yes. Yeah, he's talking about the Fort Wayne area teams. I would say, I'm curious more. Probably the most curious game I am is that Knox game against Lures. I mean, Lures has a great defense. I would say an older defense. They have seniors,
and they could be the spoiler here, stopping the record from being achieved.
Well, I'm curious what if Lures is, this scenario was posed to me yesterday by a friend of mine. He's like, what if Lures is winning like by 3 or 4 touchdowns and Knox and McLaughlin's close to the record? Do they let him break the record and just kind of have their second and third stringers out there if they're up by enough and kind of let him break it? Or, and I don't know.
At that point, it's not letting him do anything. You just do what you would normally do.
Just do what you do. Yeah, just do what you
normally do. That you don't worry about. That has nothing to do with you. You don't worry about that. If he's breaking a record, who cares? If you're winning, you're worried about winning and going on to next week. And if that means you've got the second stringers in because you don't want to get guys hurt, who cares? It has nothing on you. But maybe take a little luster off of getting it. But hey, it is what it is. I'm sure that there's been things like that have happened. Gibson Southern, how did they win so big? Did they lose their quarterback?
They did, yeah. Gibson Southern,
and they still win 42-14.
Yeah, well, I think it was later in the game. So, but they're really good. I mean, they're an awesome team. That's an unfortunate situation though, because Zach Foster, their quarterback, he's another guy who, you put in that top level of top players. I mean, he had 2,000 passing yards, 1,000 rushing. I mean, so that's unfortunate. I hate to see that. I wish they were coming up here with full strength. I mean, that's going to be a great game anyway. Gibson Southern is fully capable of winning this game regardless. But you'd like to see both teams at their full strength. Cascade is if people haven't seen them, they run this fast-paced running offense that's just they're like going to harvest. I mean, they're just like they get up and go and get up and go, and it's mostly running. They do pass it some. I expect this will be a great crowd and a really good game with Gibson Southern. These are two of the best. They're ranked. They were tied for number 2 in the state poll, with only Evansville Memorial was ahead, and Gibson Southern beat them in the sectional. So I think that'll be a fantastic game. I can't wait to see what happens in that one. I'll be there for that one. That's the only game on Saturday night of the bunch.
How about Cascade? They got a shot.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they got a really good shot. I think it'll be high scoring.
Off of Vex wanting to know.
Yeah, I think it'll be high scoring. I think it'll be a great game.
Let's see anything else. Fort Wayne surrounding area killing it in the high school playoffs. Yeah, good for them.
Dropping. Oh, I haven't. I purposely been trying to save it for the end here, but the big boys, man, oh man, 6A, Brownsburg, Carroll, Westfield, Warren Central. These 40-40. You've had two high-scoring games and two slug-em grinder games. Westfield and Fishers, 20-10. Man, that had to be a grinder, just get down at it game. And then Warren Central and Center Grove, 24-21. Another close game there.
Yeah, big win for Warren to beat Center Grove. They hadn't done that in a long time. And, normally when Center Grove gets to the regional, you can kind of write them into the semi-state. But Warren's a younger team in a lot of areas, a lot of juniors, not necessarily younger, but they will have a lot of people coming back next year. So that's maybe a team, if they can beat Brownsburg, a team that's maybe a year ahead of schedule. I don't know if they can beat Brownsburg, but I do think they have the personnel, to match up with Brownsburg in some areas that maybe other teams don't, including that defensive line. Like if they can get pressure with JJ Finch and that defensive line and not have to bring a whole bunch of extra people. And, that kind of, just the numbers game kind of helps out there a little bit. But Brownsburg's really, I covered them on Friday against Decatur Central, and man, they are just, they're so good in all areas. They run, their special teams are great. They pass really well. Defensively, they've had some hiccups at times, but most of the season they've been really good. And even against Decatur, which their speed's outstanding, they were right on top of everything almost after the first half. So that'll be a fun game. Westfield Carroll's an interesting game too. Carroll's more of a passing team, so Westfield's defense, their passing defense will be put to the test a little bit. But we could end up with a rematch of Brownsburg Westfield in the state finals, and that was a great game last year. I think it would be again. But yeah, two tough. Warren and Carroll, kind of two teams looking to pull the upsets here. And I think two teams that are capable of doing so if things go their way. Also, another factor could be the weather it looks like the weather's going to be rainy and sort of cold. Someone said even a wintry mix maybe, which I'm all out on that. I'm not in for the wintry mix at all. That's when you go to the gym. That means it's basketball season.
You're going to have to put, quickly, when does basketball start, Aaron wants to know?
The games for the boys start next week. There'll be some games on Tuesday, Wednesday, into the weekend. Not a full week, but or not a full week of games, I should say. But there will be some games next week.
You just got to get a parka, man. That's part of the deal. You got to enjoy it.
I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it anymore.
Brother, I hear you. I'm like, nope, I'm out. People always say, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, no. I said, is it outside? I'm like, no. Why?
It does make the game. It makes the games memorable in retrospect, like the terrible weather games. But in the moment and leading up to it, I don't look forward to that. But I covered the game in that hurricane weather at Brebeuf Roncalli last year, and it, as miserable as it was at the time, it was kind of fun to think back at it. But then when you're sick for the next 2 weeks, it's not as much fun.
If I were going to pick one game to go to this week, and don't forget, if you're an Indiana football fan, they have a bye week. They're off. So you don't have to worry about getting up Saturday to tailgate and getting all the stuff ready. Go out, watch a high school football game somewhere, especially if it's close by, because I'm telling you, these games, they're going to be good. But if I was going to pick one, obviously it would have to be in Indianapolis metro area or southwest central, whatever the hell you call this area. Where would I go?
I mean, I would probably pick the Roncalli Heritage Hills game. It would be my number one. I think that would be an awesome game.
That's going to be at Roncalli.
Yeah, it's at Roncalli.
What about that atmosphere you talked about a minute ago? What makes that atmosphere so good?
Well, it's sort of Roncalli definitely rolls out they do a lot of tailgating, and then the stadium is actually kind of back in the woods. Like the team comes out and they walk through the woods to get to the field, and it's kind of a neat atmosphere. It's kind of like a small town atmosphere within the city, I would say is how I would put it. But we're gonna have a lot of great atmosphere. That's only just one of, like, the Brownstown Central at Lapel game. Like, how awesome is that going to be? Both those teams are 13-0. Small town Lapel. They've never been to a state finals before. And then how about Milan? The Milan Miracle team. They're a 7-4 in Class 1A. They have South Putnam, coming in. Yeah, I just look at all these games. I'm like, I would love to just go to one of these. I've got to cover a game on Friday, obviously, but there's a lot of these games. And then the Cascade game on Saturday. I'm going to love that one. I mean, that's going to be. Hopefully the weather will be nicer on Saturday than it is Friday. But Gibson Southern, they bring so many people to these games. And a couple of years ago out at Tri-West, they had everybody was tailgating. They had the campers out there. It's just such a fun atmosphere. So, but yeah.
What if Milan adds a football state championship?
Yeah, I know. That's how cool is that? And they beat Providence last week, which was number 2 defending champ.
Handily on the road.
Yeah, 22-7. So South Putnam, I think, will be a tough challenge for him. But if you can beat that Providence team, I don't know why.
Angelo Pizzo. Angelo, are you there? I'm trying to get a hold of Angelo Pizzo.
Yeah, Hoosiers Part 2, the football version.
Wouldn't that be something? Oh man, it would kind of be funny if you could make a spoof on it. But Milan, they could be for real, man. It's that time of year. Looking forward to it, and you're about to be a busy guy, and but I appreciate you, brother, so much.
You bet. Thanks, Jim.
You betcha. Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star. Get out, watch a high school football game this weekend. I'd love to do that. I'd love to see Milan or Gibson Southern or the Ron Colley Heritage Hills game, the Fighting Santa Clauses or the Fighting Trent Sisleys. How about that? We've got more coming up here at Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Glad to have you along. Back with all that and more right after these messages.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Know a team or group needing a fundraiser? Boost Fundraising raises more money faster and offers the most unique and user-friendly online fundraiser in the nation. Your team receives personalized fundraising pages for each team member. Free team-branded promo gifts shipped to each donor. Boost Fundraising does it all. Sports teams, marching bands, charity causes, and community groups. Go to boostfundraising.com and be sure to enter the promo code COYLE, that's COYLE, to receive a discounted fundraiser. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. When it comes to apparel and promotions, Freethink has you covered, literally, whether it's 24 or 200 shirts for sports leagues, businesses, or groups. Freethink Apparel and Promotions can also create your very own merchandising store. Freethink Apparel and Promotions did it for Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and they can do it for you. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, promotional products, vehicle wraps, or anything else under the promotional line. See what Freethink Apparel and Promotions can do for you at freethinkapparel.com. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio, coming to you on this Wednesday. And you know him, you love him, you cannot live without him. Our good friend, K-Bro, Kevin Brockway. How are you, sir?
How are you? It's been a nightmare these last few weeks between the travel and obviously following up on all the weigh-in speculation. But
I love that. I love that intro. It's been a nightmare. You sound like George Costanza's dad. It's been a nightmare these 2 weeks, I tell you.
I know.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
I know. That's very good. Yeah, I was just watching some soup Nazi clips actually to cheer myself up.
No soup for you. Come back 1 year. You want bread?
But,
you want bread?
I did get a chance to go to the Grove, and God, what a scene, Jim. And I'm sure you've been there with your daughter. Or maybe did you ever catch an Ole Miss football game? You never did.
Their schedule has been exactly like Indiana's schedule. Every year, it blows my mind, right down to the buys, off games, away games, home games, always the same.
Well, let's plan a trip. We'll meet in Memphis 1 year, and we'll go.
I would love that. See, that would be easier, better anyway. If I go, I want to go and not have to worry about working, and see an old-fashioned SEC slugfest game. Speaking of, man, we've had a bunch of those this year and still have them yet to go. I know that for you, covering Florida has not been fun. And I don't think that they're really part of the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes. I think that is going to be LSU if it happens. And what are your thoughts? Does that happen? Or Florida's still a player?
No, we're hearing something quite different here.
Breaking news.
We think it's going to happen, but you never know. With Lane, you never know. I mean, I think, he went down this road with Auburn a few years ago and then decided to go back to Ole Miss. So, but listen, Florida has been, I'm told off the record, has been pursuing it pretty hard the entire month. And
they have to. How do you not?
Has made a pretty strong case between, NIL, salary, assistant coach pool, things of that nature. So the ball's in his court.
Is Florida going to give those things? That's the thing. Is Florida going to
I'm told yes. I'm told that he is going to get what he wants. And I still think that there's this pull here in Gainesville because of, his residence for Steve Spurrier. And this is a job. I've been told by many people that this has always been the dream job. And he was actually, if you even look at his ex history, he was, dare I say, jealous of being passed over the last time for Billy Napier and always, from making fun of the final score of the spring game to other things that he did.
How do you pass him over for Billy Napier, first of all?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. And I think at that point, Florida's administration was wary of his past. They are no longer, because of obviously he's changed his life in many ways. As you know, I did a big story about just how he's found peace in Oxford. And listen, if I were Lane Kiffin, to be honest with you, I wouldn't leave Oxford because you can win a national championship there. With the way the system is set up now with the college football playoff. I wouldn't have
though. Does he have the support? Does he have the NIL support there that they need?
Oh yeah, he's got this unbelievable Grove collective. It's a very grassroots. He's been able to get transfers. I think and he's found peace there, and his son is happy there. He's a quarterback.
Then why leave? It's a great place. It's a great little small town.
Yeah. But apparently he's had this, wanderlust for Florida where this is something that he's always wanted, and it's
a lot of
within his grasp now. That's basically what I've been told. So don't be surprised if it happens, but
trading
I wouldn't 100% guarantee, but I would say 75% chance that he's here.
Well, that's very, very interesting. That'll shake it up. But there's so many openings, though. Okay, bro. I'm like, okay, where are they going to get all these guys from? Vautech just took James Franklin off the board, so it's like a lot of holes out there. And then still, now you're seeing these other schools like Wisconsin and Maryland saying, "All right, we're going to keep our coach." They're kind of backed into a corner right now. If you fire him, he's like, gee whiz, it's already going to be a drain, a power drain from the coaching standpoint. So getting into that is not really something that they see as beneficial right now. But
if I'm LSU, I take Joe Brady because he was their unbelievable offensive coordinator during their national.
Is that Tom's brother?
Everybody says Ed Orgeron won that national championship. Joe Brady won that national championship with the offense that he brought to LSU. And Certainly Joe Burrow and NFL quarterback.
Man, I won that national championship, man. I think that if you look back there at that's got my name and listed at the head coach of that championship there.
And you look at what he's doing with the Bills now. Yeah, he's got to be. I think if they miss out on Lane, I think he's got to be the guy at LSU for sure. And then the dominoes will fall. Eli Drinkwitz may end up somewhere, although he was pretty emphatic in his press conference.
Penn State, this big Penn State job just hanging out there.
Yeah, I think Manny Diaz.
They've got to be talking to somebody. They've got to have. I think that they've got somebody kind of locked up.
Yeah, Manny Diaz at Duke. Watch out for that name for Penn State. See, I thought they were going to get Elko, but then Elko signed the extension. But I think that Manny Diaz at Duke may be in play. He's a former DC there, and it's not going to be Tom Allen. I'll tell you that.
Not going to be Matt Rule, which I was surprised. I'm like, why the hell would you want Matt Rule? He hasn't done anything yet. But CFP, man, it's getting Texas Tech. They want that fourth spot, and I've long thought it was going to just be Big Ten, SEC, Big Ten, SEC, but now it depends. If Alabama can get into the SEC championship, they have to win the SEC championship to get a bye. If they finish second, they're gonna stay where they are or drop a little bit. Even though conference championships are not supposed to help you, they won't be in the top four like they were. So that will give Texas Tech the opportunity to get that fourth spot. And so then I'm trying to figure out, okay, bro, where? So let's say Indiana, number one, is probably going to go to the Rose Bowl, but there's no guarantee that happens. I don't think, but probably goes to the Rose Bowl. If they were to lose that game, I think that they would wind up at the Cotton Bowl. But if Texas Tech made it into the top four, is there a way that the Cotton Bowl could choose Texas Tech, or who gets? Is it ranked just strictly by ranking next? And which bowl does it go to?
I
guess.
I think they try to make it so that if it's Texas Tech, that they could get a good crowd there. They try to arrange it that way. Although, maybe that's not necessarily. I mean, that would be fair if you're the 4th seed because you're facing a team coming off a bye. You should be able to get that advantage, I think.
You would be the 4th seed, but that would put Indiana down at Miami in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah. And that wouldn't be a bad trip for you, Jim.
Well, no, but I mean, from a fan standpoint, is that fair to Indiana that they wind up in the further? Well, it's not the furthest away place. Pasadena would be further, but maybe people wouldn't mind if it was Miami. I don't know.
So yeah, would you rather go to Miami or would you rather go to Texas? A lot of alums in the Sunshine State, a lot of Hoosier alums.
A lot of alums everywhere in Texas as well. But yes, there certainly are. And yeah, Florida sounds a little bit better, doesn't it? Miami. Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be warm down there, baby.
Do me a favor and keep your Speedo at home,
Oh, yeah, exactly. I'll be busting that out. See, only you even think about a Speedo, man. So, hey, Big Ten basketball. Last year, the SEC had such a great run, and this year the SEC or the Big Ten, let me talk about that in a minute. We'll stick on football for a while. Indiana and Ohio State likely going to meet for the Big Ten championship. Ohio State still has to win. Indiana could lose to Purdue, which that's not going to happen. But Michigan is playing Ohio State in the Big House. They've beaten them the last 4 times.
It's amazing.
It doesn't seem like there's any way that they could lose to Michigan this time, but you never know. I don't expect it to happen, so I'm going to pretend that it's Indiana and Ohio State. 2 12-0 teams, number 1 and number 2. This might be the biggest Big Ten championship ever. Will Indiana have the ability on the line to handle Ohio State?
Yeah, well, I mean, they handled Oregon, right? So I mean, that was a big question going to the Oregon game. So why not? Plus, the game will be in Lucas Oil, which will be amazing, and you would think the Hoosier fans would show out there. I mean, Buckeye fans, it's not a far trip for them, but to have that in technically your backyard in your home state, the chance to win the first Big Ten championships is John Pont, right? In 19. I mean, what a feather would that be on Curt Cignetti's cap? I mean, that would certainly be something, as if there hasn't been already. But if he could do that, that would be unbelievable. And then you'd be the number 1 seed. So,
all right, and that brings up another question I've been asking now, and I never thought that I would have. Big Ten championship, SEC champions. Now, SEC championship is determining something. And maybe it's just because the Big Ten championship's not really determining anything other than who's going to be the 1 or the 3 seed this year. But you're having to play the toughest game that you have played all freaking season, and it is not going to have really an impact on your playoff run, except for playing guys that maybe you'd rather not be playing in that kind of a game.
But it's history, Jim. It's having the trophy.
I get it. I'm kind of torn. I'm like, oh wow.
You could say that you're Big Ten champions for the first time since 1968. I think that should mean something.
I agree. I mean, it would be historical. I mean, again, first of all, they're going to be 12-0. I mean, I'm not a coach, like I always say, so I don't have to worry about speaking coach speak. They're going to be 12-0. They're going to beat Purdue. That's history right there.
Where's the game? Here? Or?
It's in West Lafayette.
Okay.
So maybe that's a little bit, maybe that gives a little honey on top of it. You go 12-0 on the road at your opponent's place. Maybe you have a ton of fans that show up for the game, and you get to celebrate being 12-0.
Bringing that bucket back, right? That's an old case, yeah.
Taking it with them. They've got it with them already. But they'll just take it up and show it off again is what they're going to do. But the opportunity to go 13-0 and be Big Ten champions.
Yeah, that's special for sure, Jim.
The losingest prior to 2 years ago, okay, bro, the losingest D1 program in NCAA history.
Oh, yeah, no question. And I was telling someone that story the other day about, because I was in Kentucky and I was telling them the Indiana Western Kentucky story with Bailey Zappi and Mike Penix, and when they were playing in that, I had to stay in that terrible America Values Inn in Bowling Green. And that was kind of the low point, the beginning of the end of the Tom Allen era when they tried to rush Penix back from the ACL. But for them to recover under Curt Cignetti the way they have, has been nothing short of miraculous, and you got to give him a lot of credit, and you've got to give, in the way they pulled out that win over Penn State, a place that, even though they had an interim coach, always a tough place to play, and they found a way to win that game. And Omar Cooper, I mean, I remember when he was at Lawrence North playing basketball, he played basketball like a football player, and look at him now, he's one of the best receivers on one of the best teams in the country. It was nice to see.
Yeah, what a moment, and potentially a Heisman moment for Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, and apparently my New York Jets are looking at Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, who isn't? Those top 5 teams that he is projected the number 1 pick right now.
Is he going to win the Heisman?
Do you think he wins the Heisman?
I think he's got a shot. Yeah, I think so.
Well, of course, we know he's got a shot, okay, bro. He's like the projected favorite at the moment.
I mean, Haynes King at Georgia Tech, right, is another guy that you hear a lot about, and the quarterback at Oregon, right, also is. But
man, you're leading the country in touchdown passes. You're the projected number 1 overall draft pick in the NFL. Your team is historically terrible, and you've got them undefeated in the Big Ten championship game. If they win that Big Ten championship game, it's over. There's no question about it. I wonder if he has to win the Big Ten title to win the Heisman. I don't think so. I think he just needs to perform well, because Julian Sayin is right there in that conversation, and there's going to be nothing but comparisons, which it almost isn't fair. Okay, bro? Damn it. I could throw to two of those
Jeremiah
guys
Smith. Yeah.
and not worry about just stick your paw up there and pull that thing in, man. That's what he does.
Yeah. No, I mean Julian Sayin is, but he's having a nice year too. Or you can make the argument for Jeremiah Smith as well. But maybe they'll cancel each other out.
You think?
Yeah, possibly in the voting.
Well, we'll certainly find out. But how incredible would that be? I've talked about this, Kevin. So Indiana has a legitimate shot to win the Big Ten championship. They have a legitimate shot to win a national championship. They have a legitimate shot to have the Heisman Trophy winner, a legitimate shot to have the Coach of the Year. The Colts have a legitimate shot to win the Super Bowl. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to win Offensive Player of the Year, and Steichen has to have a shot at Coach of the Year.
It's a, listen, for the state of Indiana, this is glorious times, right? In terms of the gridiron. And it looks like DeVries has basketball going in a positive direction as well, right?
Maybe. And the Big Ten is looking tough this year, man. Last year, the SEC put 14 teams into the NCAA tournament and pretty worthy. Those teams were all pretty good. You can't argue that. This year, though, buddy, the SEC has been taking it on the chin from the Big Ten a couple of times already in some marquee games. Kentucky getting beat last night soundly by Michigan State, Alabama getting beaten in Tuscaloosa by Purdue, Illinois looking as good. Big Ten, man, Michigan tough at the top right now.
Oh yeah, no question, Jim. And yeah, I think the SEC is definitely a step back. Florida went out to Vegas to play Arizona, and they've got some problems in the backcourt, particularly the shooting for the Gators right now. I believe that they're in their neighborhood of 25% from 3-point range on the season. That's not going to cut it. The guard play has been not impactful, to say the least. The new guards, Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee, they've struggled so far. They've been really up and down. But they do have the front court still, and Tommy Houck playing on the wing has been amazing. He's been averaging about 18, 19 a game. Alex Condon's gotten off to a little slow start of the season, but he's going to come around. Ruben Chinyelu and Micah Hanlogden. I think Florida's got enough in the front court to win the SEC, but the reason why is because the SEC is I think down compared to last year. I don't think that this is nearly that 13 or 14 bid league. This year it's going to be more like a 6 or 7 bid league, in my opinion.
Yeah. How many?
I'd say 6 or 7 maybe, right?
Wow, really? That's a huge drop. Why such a drop?
I just think that, based on what I've talked to, like Missouri is not the same. I think Georgia might be a little better under Mike White. Tennessee has a good young freshman, but Auburn, you're losing Bruce Pearl, Stephen Pearl. You lost Buzz Williams to Maryland, so you have a new coach there in Bucky McMillan. So I don't think Texas A&M is going to be as good. So maybe that's maybe that's a little drastic, but I would say maybe a 7 to 10 bid league. Yeah.
Well, we'll certainly look forward to it, buddy. Well, what's up next for you?
I am just on lane watch all the time. We've got Florida's got playing out the string here with Tennessee and Florida State at the Swamp, and there's no bowl hopes. Everyone is just waiting on the next coach who it's going to be.
Like Eeyore, man. We got this. We got an old bowl game. Damn it. But you got basketball, and you've got Oliver Rue. Speaking of
Oliver Ryu.
You got Oliver. How is it?
It's Olivier Ryu.
Oh, excuse me. Olivier
Ryu. He's
7'9".
He's
the largest
Royal.
basketball
He's
player in
Canadian.
college basketball at 7'9". Olivier Rue. It sounds like a character in
The Princess Bride.
Well, that or something.
7'9".
7'9".
Can't play where the lick, but he's 7'9".
Yeah, I mean, he almost seems like he's looking like he'd get hurt out there.
Developmental. It's gonna take a long time if it ever comes for him. Let's put it that way. But it's a novelty act. He gets out there, he steps on the court, the fans love it, and he's but Florida has got the front court in general has got a legit front court this year, and they're going to be a team that's going to be in contention for the SEC title. Should probably win it this year, but I don't know. They go to Duke. By the way, I think that was totally ridiculous that the game is at Cameron, because Florida won the national championship. The game should be here based on merit. And because of that, when you look at Florida's non-conference schedule, they have to play Arizona and Vegas, they have to play Duke and Cameron, and they have to play Connecticut and New York City. So no real reward or home games for winning a national title. Their best home game for non-conference is going to be Florida State. And that's to me, that's a joke. The Duke game should have been here. You reward the team that wins the national championship, and I'm off that soapbox, but I'm going to be writing about that later.
Yeah, hey, it's right, baby. To the victor go the spoils, and it looks like that didn't happen.
Yeah,
why?
But Florida will be in the mix. I think they'll probably be a second weekend NCAA tournament team. I don't know if they quite have enough to get to the Final Four this year, but you never know. It's all when you get to that point, it's all about matchups.
Well, I appreciate you, my friend. And what do you get to do this weekend?
What do I get to do? I get to be on my phone all day and call up people and ask my sources if and when Lane is coming. And also I have to cover a game.
Why don't you? This would give you a good excuse to go over to Oxford again.
Yeah. Well, no, I did the Oxford thing last week. I went to the square.
Well, I know that, but you were supposed to be there. This is like some investigative stuff, man.
Go and sleuth around. Yeah.
Yeah. Be the guy. We got some for real breaking news.
Yeah, but the
I did hear this on the other day on a radio. I think it was on radio, maybe, I don't know what it was I was listening to, and I just wanted to laugh out loud because this was supposed to be a legit. Oh, I know what it was. An evening sports show, 6 o'clock sports show is all I'll say, but was talking about Lane Kiffin and. Yeah, this and that. He was all the rumors. LSU, apparently his family was looking around on the campus. As soon as you hear that, I want to say, shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. The minute you say, the wife was looking for homes or the family's looking at the campus, that's crap because that's not going to happen. So nuts.
I agree.
Nuts, man. But
a lot of stuff being thrown out there without being substantiated. But but when would that happen though? What the timing with him with Ole Miss firmly entrenched in the CFP and will host at worst host a game? How's the timeline going to play out? You've also got the portal window. That's the big question, but I don't know if he possibly announces after the Egg Bowl and then is allowed to coach. There was a lot of talk about that, but Kiffin denied that there was an ultimatum from the athletic director with regards to that if he took another job, that he would have to, that he wouldn't be allowed to coach in the CFP. But I don't think that, that's true now. I think basically what I'm hearing now is, he could announce another school on November 30th, and Ole Miss will give him his grace and let him coach in the college football playoff. So
it'll be interesting. We've seen that. Michigan, we talked about that the other day. Brother, I appreciate you as always.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bro. Make sure you get on. It's always fun, man.
Yeah, and it's good to say hi to all the Indiana peeps. I was very tempted when I was in Louisville just to, drive up to Bloomington for old time's sake. But
I wish you would have. I wish I would have had a little bit more advance notice. I would have met you down there. Could have done that. But absolutely, you probably won't be coming back anytime soon this season. Or what about basketball?
You never know. Could be the Final Four. You never know.
Oh, they've already played in at Kentucky, so there you go.
But
how was Rupp, by the way?
The Final Four is in Indianapolis this year, so you never know.
And how was Rupp?
Yeah, Rupp was fun. It was a good time.
Been a minute since I've been there, and Indiana plays Kentucky in Rupp Arena this season.
That's right. They were talking about that. Yeah, but I will. I went as a fan, and it was interesting. It was fun. They have this unbelievable soft serve ice cream there. Apparently, that people wait for. The line like snakes around the freaking concourses there. People love it.
Sounds good, brother.
All right.
Enjoy your day and cannot wait to do it again.
Sounds good, buddy.
Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio after these messages. Andy Moore Honda is Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer for a reason. Buy a new Honda and get a 3-month break from car payments. That's right, no payments for 90 days. That includes the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue, and you get it for just 0.9% financing. Or the 2024 Honda Ridgeline Black Edition or the Honda Accord LX, both for just 1.9% financing. Get more to your door from AndyMooreHonda.com, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer and your best place for new and used vehicles. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemooreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today.
Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. With 8 Academy stores across Indiana, including our Bloomington location, fun can't lose, and neither can you. Gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Zach Browning here to tell you about an offer you simply can't pass up. If you're looking for the best coverage of Indiana football and basketball, which includes recruiting, weekly chats, podcasts, as well as access to the best national team out there, then look no further than thehoosier.com. The best part, it's just $1 for the first week. Oh, and did I mention that you get a full year of access to The Athletic when you sign up? You can't beat the coverage, and you can't beat the deal. So head over to thehoosier.com today and sign up for just $1. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on this Wednesday. Glad to have you along. The CFP out last night, not a lot of change there at the top, just Alabama dropping, of course. A little bit of note for Nebraska. Dayton Raiola, a 3-star quarterback in the 2026 class and the younger brother of Nebraska's quarterback Dylan Raiola, announced his decommitment from the Cornhuskers this morning, reopening his recruitment weeks before the early signing period. Raiola is ESPN's number 76 pocket passer in the 26 recruiting cycle, a 2-year starter at Georgia's Buford High School. Raiola had been committed to Nebraska since last September of 24 when he picked the Huskers over App State and Charlotte. Kind of odd there, unless his recruiting is really picked up. Not sure why that would happen, especially with his brother there, unless he thinks that his brother's not going to leave for quite some time, that he'll be there for a while. Maybe that's the thinking there, but we will find out as that story plays out, as it always does. Indiana also has brothers on the roster, but I don't think that Alberto is going anywhere anytime soon, as he is sitting behind his brother Fernando right now. We'll be talking to Fernando a little bit later today as well. We'll have that tomorrow morning. And upcoming games tonight for men's basketball. On the day try to get for the Big Ten schedule. Not sure that there's much going on. Middle Tennessee is at Michigan tonight at 6:30. Harvard's at Penn State, 6:30 game. Mount St. Mary's at Maryland at 7. Alabama at Illinois. This is a game to watch, people. Illinois with another opportunity to be the second Big Ten team to beat Alabama in a week. So very interesting to see how that plays out. Wow, what a game that's going to be. That's a 9 o'clock game on Fox Sports 1. Whoo, I'm already rubbing my hands together with that one. It's going to be a lot of that could be a high-scoring game, man, but it's going to be very interesting to see what this Illinois team is built like, how they are. Alabama, that's an opportunity for Alabama as well, as they need to probably recover from the loss to Purdue at home. They take a second loss to Illinois. I mean, it's a road loss to a top 10 team, so it's not like it's going to kill you, but maybe it's a resume. Maybe it doesn't hurt them. Illinois, a 3.5-point favorite in that game. Man, what a game that's going to be. I can't wait. Holy smokes. Without question, the game of the night. No football. See, today's Wednesday, so generally no football. Sometimes you've got the other leagues like Miami at Buffalo tonight at 7 on ESPN2. Central Michigan at Kent State. That's on the U. There was actually football last night. As Bowling Green lost at home to Akron, Western Michigan, Northern Illinois, Massachusetts, and Ohio. So, but yeah, got a couple of games lined up. So looking forward to keeping it rolling as bigger games on the weekend. Miami at Virginia Tech. What if Virginia Tech gets rejuvenated? Even they made the coaching hire, but although it's not in effect at the moment, Alabama, they've got an off week, basically. They're hosting Eastern Illinois. So, but the SEC, they're the ones that's got some games to determine. We'll certainly be keeping our eye on that, but plenty more to go as we've only hit the midway part of the week. Glad to have done so, though, but now we're over on the other side and heading down. Appreciate everybody joining us on the program today. Appreciate Dylan Sinn, of course, from the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette, Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star, and K-Bro from the Gainesville Sun, our good old friend, former Indiana beat writer as well. Most importantly, thanks to each and every one of you. Without you, we've got no reason to be here. Until tomorrow, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.